He's yelling, "Get him out."
Well, when we found out that President Trump was running for president again this term, we immediately went out and bought a flag because we are huge Trump supporters. Questioning what's happening right now, obviously. Individuals started receiving notice on Monday that they were going to have an appointment for termination on Wednesday. Tuesday morning comes, and we were informed that, hey, if you didn't get the email on Monday, you're safe. And I'm like skipping down the halls, right? Like, I get to stay. And Wednesday late afternoon, I received the notice that I have an appointment.
So I'm sure many of you um, are going to be disappointed in this lady by what she just said. She made the statement that she was skipping down the halls because she thought she was safe, and then she found out she got fired. A lot of people are going to take issue with that because they're going to think, well, you were cool with it when you thought you had a job, but now that you were laid off or fired, whichever route you want to go, now you're upset. You don't support Trump anymore. And as this video goes on, I'm going to get a lot deeper to give you a different perspective on what's going on here. So stick around to the end.
Team's appointment with my supervisor on Friday at 9 o'clock. So I knew that I wasn't safe anymore. Oh my gosh, yeah, Nathan, that's like the hardest part for me, honestly, because I'm a wonderful worker. Any job that I've ever had, I feel like you should do everything unto the Lord, and I do. And
Me too.
to be sitting here today and know that that follows me, that I was fired for performance based in any manner. I have wonderful reviews every year of my employment. I literally just had my last review in January, and it was outstanding. When you lose an income, it's painful. Um, we've had conversations about what our future looks like. We have, as you can tell, we have a small home. But my husband and I have said if we need to downsize and get a 1 bedroom home or even a 1 bedroom apartment, we'll do whatever we have to do.
See, what a lot of people don't realize, I know this area pretty well. Parkersburg, West Virginia, Belpre, Southeast Ohio, not large population, Appalachian country type of mindset, upbringing, farming, not a lot of jobs. If you can find a job in a plant somewhere or, you know, doing something like that, then you're usually okay. But the jobs are few and far and in between in this area. So this particular place where this lady is working at used to have another name. It was called something with the word debt in it, Department of Debt or something years ago. And then they changed the name. But this is one of the largest employers in this area. And my wife actually knows somebody that used to work at this place, and this person would actually laugh and make fun of how she was getting paid to basically do nothing. You know what I'm saying? So, and this was years ago. So I'm sure that has been the norm for years. I'm not discounting this lady saying that she was a good worker or any of what she's saying, but the point just stands that knowing people that have worked in this place, um, it was basically just a paycheck. These people were not really working hard for their jobs, at least from what I understand from people that have worked there.
The common theme is, we voted for this, and our friends that didn't vote the same, there's always that back and forth conversation now. It's like, you knew this was coming, but we didn't. Like, nobody that I've talked to understood the devastation that having this administration in office would do to our lives, but other people that we love and care about too within the Mid-Ohio Valley. Cutting.
But let me say this, and I don't want to be insensitive or mean, but I truly, this particular lady and a lot of the other people that are out there protesting, they really don't understand what's truly going on. Trust me, do I get it if I lost my only source of income or one of two sources, especially in an area where there's not a lot of jobs, there's a lot of money. Yeah, it's heartbreaking to see people having to go through this. But two things that she said. She said that She works as unto the Lord. So she clearly has a relationship with Jesus Christ. And here's my other issue with that. When you understand who your provider is, you're okay with whatever happened. We all have had situations in our lives where we were let go from a job or something where we didn't expect it. It kind of caught us off guard. But if you are truly following God and God is your provider, put your trust in Him. Don't get on social media and complain about what is going on. Do I understand it? Yes. But you have no idea what God has in store for you after closing one door. There's a saying that you've probably heard people say, when God closes one door, another one opens. And again, I just want to reiterate, it is heartbreaking to see people have to struggle. But she's trying to blame this situation on Donald Trump and even Elon Musk a little bit later in the video. And the sad thing about it is, I'll give you a good analogy here. So when you take a baby, let's say your child is really sick and you got to take them to the doctor. And the doctor says, I got to give them a couple of shots and they have to take this medication. And the baby is like sick, like almost near death, feels like crap. And the baby is kicking and screaming, trying to do whatever he can to keep from getting this shot or getting this medication, because the baby doesn't understand that the medication is going to help him. And then once he gets the shot and the medication, he starts feeling better. You see, so let's expand this view a little bit bigger. Donald Trump is now the enemy because he is trying to come in and fix 50 plus years of crap that has been going on in this country. Government, whether you work for them or not, has gotten so big that something has to be done about it. You know what I mean? When you have a situation where you come in, you got 73 people doing the job of one person, basically doing nothing. You have to cut the fat. So what Donald Trump is doing now is he's coming in, he's trying to change all the garbage that's been going on. And yeah, you are going to have to cut fat in some areas. But what she doesn't realize is that what him and his administration is trying to do with the tariffs, and I can't even count how many, I think it's like over $1 trillion that some of these companies have pledged in the United States. Apple was one. I think it's 400 or 500 billion. Some Chat GPT, that other company, Oracle, and he's still making these deals. So what people don't realize is he is opening up avenues to create even more jobs in this country. And it's like that doctor with the baby. These people, all they can see is the short term. I just lost my job. I'm struggling to pay my rent. And trust me, I get that. I'm not being insensitive to that. But what they can't see is that right now, Donald Trump is the enemy because he's trying to turn this situation around, which is going to take some time. And it's going to be a little bit painful, just like that shot or that medication for that child. And I wish these people could understand that.
Cost and waste and fraud and we love that big picture. I love that big picture. My friends, we were excited about that because it is true. But again, I can't help but go back to the fact that what is the decisions that you're making right now solving in the big picture? It just the concept of voting for that again, voting for Elon Musk essentially to wreck people's lives, I can't do it.
Their perspective is jacked up.
We see the effects of what a decision like this can do. The relapse that can take place, the lack of trust. I mean, if you can't trust your president and your vice president to do what they said they were going to do, which is protect us, protect us.
But that's what they're doing. See, what people don't realize is by Donald Trump and his cabinet trying to do what they're doing, eventually it is going to get better. The sad thing about it is, had we kept going on the route that we were going, it was going to implode as it was. The system is broken. Government is too big. You have to make cuts. It's just like if you have a company, and you're not generating enough money. Remember when COVID, let me use COVID for an example. Remember when all these companies, because of all the mandates and all this stuff, people couldn't show up to work, or they had customers, you only had every other table you could sit at. People were losing business. If it wasn't for those PPP loans, most of these businesses would have gone out of business. Why? Because when you don't have the revenue to sustain your business, you have to make cuts. And it's no different with the government. The problem that we've had in this country is that our government has been spending our money like it's going out of style because it's not their money. If this country was your business, I guarantee you, you wouldn't allow it to get to be trillions of dollars in debt. But because this is free taxpayers' money, they don't care if they spend $10,000 for a hammer or spend, I forget how many it was, $55 million for condoms in Gaza or whatever it was. I mean, this is the kind of crazy. So I sympathize with this lady, but unless you make a change, and Donald Trump, sadly, is taking the heat for what 50 years of his predecessors have done, it's never going to get any better. So what they don't realize is that the road that they were headed on, it was only going to implode anyway. This way, and again, like I said earlier, you can already see that he's bringing industry and jobs into this country. He is doing, I believe, the best that he can to turn this crap around. And I think we should get behind him and try to support him instead of condemning him and coming after him. And again, and I'm not a Republican or a Democrat. I just consider myself a common sense type of guy that can clearly see the big picture. A lot of these people can't see it, and I get it because they're being affected. It's affecting their families. So now, 3 months ago, they were crazy about Trump. When Trump gets in, and as she just said, starts doing what he said he was going to do, now they don't like it because it's affected them directly. And I understand that. But again, patience, grasshopper.
People are afraid to go and open their emails. Like one email, one instance can change the trajectory of your entire life. And it's, in my opinion, it's abuse. It's emotional abuse.
It is not.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel a little bit betrayed. And to be honest, I don't know like what I would do if we knew what we know today and the vote was tomorrow. I don't know what I would do because of my morals, but I just don't think I could do it again. I don't think I could vote for President Trump again, knowing that
So
this
you
has
voted for
happened
Kamala Harris.
and
And
the
we would have
impact
been a
it's
third
had
world
on the
country.
American working class.
And you see this area where they're at on the screen here? This is that area in Parkersburg where this one of the biggest employers, this federal agency, is located. So I get it why
Kind of all of a sudden,
they're upset.
within maybe like a day's notice, I was basically told that tomorrow is your last day of duty, based on, they say, performance, which was clearly a big lie. It's a disgrace. Almost feel like, so much for serving my country all these years. We literally get slapped in the face with no explanations as to really why we got let go. Just thousands of lives are turned upside down. Nobody really seen this coming. Even the people that did probably vote for Donald Trump. Elon Musk has basically taken over our government and has calling the shots. Unfortunately, it seems.
No, he's not. See how ignorant people
Now
are?
they're like basically denying our unemployment compensation claims. So they're starving us out at the same time. How am I going to pay my bills? I feel like everybody really needs to do their homework a lot more in depth next time come voting time to really try to figure out who these people are deep down inside because they they fool you a lot. They get in office, they don't do the things they said.
See, that's a bunch of crap right there. Donald Trump is doing exactly what he said he was going to do. And they don't like it because right now it's like giving that kid that shot. They don't want that shot stuck in their leg. They don't like the consequences. They're. And I'm not trying to be insensitive. And I keep saying this because I know if I was in a position like them, I would probably be upset too because this particular area, there's not a lot of money. So yeah, this is going to affect them, but they have to hold on and just continue to allow this to play out. There's going to be other opportunities for them, and there's no easy way to fix this. What do you just let it keep going the way it's going, and then it implodes, and then everything's already jacked up? We're already borrowing money just to pay the interest on the trillions of dollars in debt. How long can you do that before you have to make a change? You can't.
Was going to do or promise the people.
I'm out here today because the unlawful termination of the probationary employees here at the Bureau of the Fiscal Service is a devastating loss to our community. This is one of the only places in this area where you can get, a consistent, well-paying job. So many people around
Like
here
I
depend
said,
upon this. Families, I mean, some, husbands and wives work together there. It's going to be a devastating economic loss to our community.
and I
And I'm here
sympathize
also
with them.
because it was done by under this false pretense that Donald Trump and Elon Musk and this fictitious entity Doge, this unlawful entity Doge, has any actual interest in rooting out government waste, fraud, and abuse. They're the only ones committing those things. They are the only ones committing those things. They have actual no capability, no actual interest in finding those things. It's a pretext
Or
for their
lies.
unlawful expansion of executive power. It's destroying this country and
It's
it's
not
especially
unlawful.
destroying the state and the city.
Speak the truth. It's not
Elon
unlawful.
Musk, he bought himself a president. I mean, he's real rich, and he definitely is running and telling Trump what to do right now. You saw that in the cabinet meeting where he was standing up and walking around and telling, and Trump just sits there like this. So Elon Musk bought a president. He bought the presidency of the United States.
So let me ask you this, lady. What about all the other people that give huge donations? Nobody said nothing about them. And let's talk about other administrations. You hear the stories about the huge sums of millions and millions of dollars. Remember Kamala Harris's campaign? All that money that was being donated? Okay? People donate money, but because you guys are upset and don't like what's going on, you want to make it like Elon Musk is the only one that has donated any money to the Trump campaign. There were a lot of people that donated large amounts of money. So he did not buy the presidency. Quit lying. Quit speaking propaganda.
And now he's going to destroy us.
Because I love my country. And I think this has been one of the biggest threats it's ever faced. What with illegal firings and problems in for having the
Ignorance.
rule of law
Ignorance.
and possibly a president who thinks he doesn't have to listen to the decisions of judges.
If I have a company and I determine that there are tons of fraud and waste, I have a right as the boss of that company to cut that waste, which is exactly what he's doing, getting rid of the waste.
Where those people do business, all those businesses also suffer. And other parts of the economy suffer as well, like tax revenue. These people are receiving less income, if they're spending less money, that lowers the tax base as well. And that can have further downstream ripple effects to reduce school funding.
And here's something else I just noticed. Again, I have a little bit of knowledge of West Virginia because I live in the area. I don't live in West Virginia, but I'm very familiar with it. Who records an interview and allows all the background noise, the people talking in the background? Go to another room, go to a quiet place. Again, common sense. Not a lot of common sense going on here. Do I agree with what this guy is saying? Yes, there is some truth there. And I will say it for the fourth time. My heart breaks for people that struggle, okay? But again, and I'm not ashamed to say it, I'm glad that he's in there because I believe if we can hang with him, he's going to turn this around because it has never been turned around. I'm amazed at how many people aren't upset with all the fraud that they're finding. And now they've convinced themselves that they're not even finding it just by some of the comments, I'm hearing in the video that they're making it up. And I'm like, come on, y'all. Oh, so tired of it.
Funding for transportation infrastructure, other areas. So it's important to remember the broad spillover effects.
I truly believe that this is going to get turned around. And one thing I can say, and they've already admitted that some of the cuts and the choices that they made were people that should have been cut. But those people have been brought back. They're catching it. You know, there's a lot. I can't even imagine trying to take on the amount of garbage that they're taking on, finding all this fraud, all this waste, all this abuse. And what amazes me is how people aren't up in arms about it. You know, we've been so brainwashed, paying taxes, which taxes are illegal. If you do your homework, look it up. Paying taxes, and that's something else Donald Trump's trying to do away with. No tax on tips, no tax on overtime, no tax on Social Security. Democrats weren't offering that, but you guys are upset because of what he's doing, standing there with your signs, you know, save federal workers and protect our rights and vote him out. But you weren't screaming that a few months ago. Okay, there is a process. He's a billionaire for a reason. Okay, he knows how to run businesses, he knows how to make deals. And I truly believe, and I don't care if you disagree with me, I truly believe that he cares about this country. There are videos of him back when he was in his 20s and 30s where he was talking about a lot of the same things that he's trying to do something about now. The fraud, the waste, the abuse. It was going on a long time ago. Okay, so again, I feel sorry for these people whose families have been disrupted by these cuts, and I pray that they look into it, and if there's a way to bring some of these people back, that they will. And maybe they will once they kind of figure out where all the fraud and the waste is. But again, as a business owner, if it's going to cause my company to survive, I'm going to make whatever cuts I need to make. And I'm sorry, because a lot of times, whether it's layoffs or whether it's firings, you have human beings on the other side of that are going to be affected by it. You know, and most of these people, what they don't realize is you're pretty much at-will employee, okay? You're not guaranteed a job. They can let you go, all right? So again, that's my thoughts on this. Please drop your comments in the comments section. As always, make sure you hit that like button. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. And as always, I love you guys, and I will check you on the next one. Later.